Hello everybody, this is Mystic Jen and I'm here to do an unboxing of some Happy Mail. Yes, um, I got some Happy Mail that came today from Amazon. Um, thank you, Soul Source Tarot. I love you. Dear friend of mine. Very precious to me and so grateful for this deck. Soul Source had this deck shipped to me. I've been talking about this. I've been wanting this deck. She uses this deck quite often. It is by Sharo Marchetti. Sharo Marchetti, yeah, however you pronounce this. And it's Ciro Marchetti. Anyhow, it's the Tarot Grand Luxe, just released this year from U.S. Games. In mass production now. Used to be you could only get it through his website, and it got to the point where this size was actually sold out on his website. You could only get these little miniature ones. But I'm so grateful. I'm going to open this up. I can't wait to start using it. I will be using it for my daily when I do it today. I might do it a little bit early. I am definitely going to use this for my air signs weekly, which is going to be coming up after this video. Okay. U.S. Games is really stepping up their game. Little pun on words there. Their boxes, you used to get this flimsy flip-top boxes from U.S. Games, and now they are actually doing some nice boxes now. Okay, let me see here. Okay, we've got the guidebook. Funny, I opened it to the Five of Swords. Really? The Minor Arcana. This gives his little take on the cards. I like that because so many of the books, the artist does not. Excuse me. You don't get to take on the artist's point of view, what they were trying to portray in there. It's like a second party thing where somebody else writes the commentaries or writes the descriptions. But Sharo, he actually writes it himself. And I like it when the artist does that, because the Little White Books is not the artist, you know. Some of the larger decks, some of the larger books, yes, it is the artist's point of view. And I like the artist's point of view because they give you more insights in the designs, the symbolism that they use, right? This deck will probably get edged in black eventually with black ink. But let's see here. Let's take off the plastic. The backs are so cool. You know, I'll go through some of these. See, like we have the Fool, the Magician. That's like Sharo's face. He usually puts his image somewhere, and usually it's on the Magician. You have the alchemy symbols here, and all these different tools, and this energy, this magnificent energy of manifestation. The Wise Owl, and you'll see that owl also in the High Priestess card. When I look at decks, the High Priestess is one of the decks, one of the cards I look at. as there's a couple cards I look at that I have to like those cards in order to want a particular deck. Okay. High Priestess is a must. The High Priestess has to speak to me. And she does. She's gorgeous. And there is the wisdom there. The knowledge that she has. The knowledge that she hides, that she shares with you at when you tap into her energy. Right? And numerology wise, according to my birth date, I have two cards. The number 11, which reduces to a 2. I have two cards because 11 is a master number. So I have two major arcanas. 11 is the Justice card. And 11 speaks to me because the Justice is Libra. Okay? And I am a Libra rising and a Libra moon. So I have a very strong Libra in me. So that I have to look at the Justice card also. And it reduces down to the 2, which is the High Priestess. Okay, so there's the Empress. I like this. She's incorporated in almost like into the tree because she's planting her roots. And this is very strong symbolism of growth, growing from the ground up. You know, beautiful. We have the Emperor. He's got his law, the law in his hands. You know, very powerful card. Hierophant. This is not one of the cards that I look at, but it did strike me. The Lover's card. This is so gorgeous, so beautiful. And the Chariot. The Strength. Look at that Strength card. Look at that lion. And I like how some of the images, it's like they try to pop out of the picture to get your attention. They go over into the borders. And that is to get your attention, to try to make it 2D art, almost 3D, you know, and to make it appear like it's coming out of the card. The Hermit. There's the Trail. You know, it's this is the imagery, and this is really speaks. There's the Wheel. I love this too, because the Wheel also speaks about cycles, and it's got the moon. It's got moon phases up here. You know, this is gorgeous. I love this. Now here comes my Justice card. This is another card that has to speak, right? And I have to, the Justice card has to be, I have to like it. And I love the Justice card. Okay, the scales are right there smack dab in your face. Hello, karma. Hello, justice. You know, justice being served, the truth. There's the feather, weighing the feather in the heart. Okay, and there's the sword of truth. She is blindfolded because she trusts in the system. She trusts in the divine. She is the law. She is, you know, about balance. You know, she has this in her hand and she's balancing the scales. We have the Hanged Man. Here's the Death card. Temperance, gorgeous, gorgeous, screams healing. The Devil. This is another, as crazy as it sounds, this is another one of my cards because this is Capricorn. Okay? And he looks like he means business there. And look at this Tower. You know, so many decks, the Tower looks really scary. Yes, you still have the dark clouds, you still have the lightning. The tower is beautiful, it is striking the top, but it's not as scary and as threatening. It is letting you know that there's a sudden, I get the image, I'm going to have to read the book, but I get the feeling of enlightenment. In fact, let's look up the tower in here. And see what it says about the tower. There we go. The tower energy. The tower card pretends a sudden disastrous change bringing calamity. This edition is typically shown being struck by lightning, the tower top engulfed in flames, and that is exactly how I initially produced it also. However, at the time I was working on it, Hurricane Irma was threatening to ravage Florida. The formaldehyde size and force of the oncoming storm was cause of significant concern. My home and those of my immediate family were all in the predicted path of a direct hit. The symbolism of this card took on a more threatening and personal perspective. Would I, in the next 24 hours, also lose my roof to a Marcel's breath of God? I tempted fate and continued to work on the image as the weather conditions outside deteriorated. I modified the image to reflect our circumstances. Fortunately, the storm veered away significantly, that we were spared any significant damage. But it did do tremendous damage elsewhere. As a result, this tower card will always have more personal meaning to me. That's, it's like so that's, this is reminiscent of a hurricane. There you go. Hurricane coming through, causing havoc, causing upheaval. And we have the star card. There's the moon. I look at the moon card a lot too. Sun. Judgment. And the world. We have Leo. We have Taurus. And we have air and earth. Earth is usually Capricorn. Air. I want to say Libra. I can't remember. I just go by what I feel when I see the cards. Okay. That is the majors. Look at this Ace of Swords. Wow. I like the Two of Swords because she's not completely blindfolded. She's holding her two swords. They're up. There's a veil, and she can still see through the veil. But this is like somebody who sees but doesn't want to act. She's just watching. That's a powerful image. This Three of Swords is not your typical Three of Swords either, with the Three Swords in the heart. I feel like this is a better portrayal of the Three of Swords. The despair. Despair, depression, heartbreak, yes. I like that. I'm curious about the Three of Swords. Okay, the Three of Swords. This card shows a craftsman. No, that's Three of Coins, not Three of Swords. There we go, Three of Swords. Where we got? Minor Arcana, okay. Three of Swords. The only thing that I'm disappointed about this book, most of Charo's decks have a big, thick book with a whole big page dedicated to a card. But this is fine. A pierced heart in the traditional RWS. Three swords may work in a strictly symbolic way, but more by recognition and learned association than a portraying of any actual emotion. The pose of the figure I have used is based on a Victorian statue called the Grieving Angel, which has often been used as a cemetery tomb headstone. I feel that this pose portrays the essence of the card's meaning, namely loss, pain, and heartache. I really like that Three of Swords. See, 4, 5, 6. I like this one too because the swords aren't on the ship, so they're not taking the baggage. This is somebody navigating through the waters. They're on their way. They're traveling to a new destination. It's like packing up and leaving. And this is somebody who is going to the calmer waters, leaving the storm behind. And there's the swords. They're leaving the swords behind. They're not taking them with them. I like this portrayal. This means more to me in this deck than any other deck because they're not actually taking all that baggage and stuff with them. They're leaving it. So most Six of Swords you see with the swords in the boat themselves. Okay, then there's the Seven of Swords. He's hiding. I like this portrayal. He's not in a running pose. He's hiding. This is like somebody hiding something, you know? Eight of Swords. Nine of Swords. I hope you can see these clearly. So I know the lighting's not the best in here. Ten of Swords. I like this Ten of Swords also because the swords aren't actually piercing the body. Okay? And this is representation more of something rising up. This is, it's not piercing the body. It's not a death. Okay? However, somebody's bound up, stuck in a situation. Slightly different than the Eight of Swords because there is anguish and pain here. The Eight of Swords is a portrayal of fear. Look at that. Instead of being, or the Nine of Swords. That's a 9. That's more like a fear-based. Eight of Swords. Somebody's blindfolded. Okay? He's not blindfolded here. So it's a little less harsh, but I know this video is getting long. Let's take a quick look at the Ten of Swords. Okay, the Ten of Swords is the figure in the RWS clearly not having a good day, as he seems to be literally impaled by 10 swords. Here, the scene with its emphasis on the man's back, acknowledge of the traditional RWS image, but I attempted to portray the negativity of this card in a more nuanced manner via melancholy, lighting and mood. The man is not being physically injured. It's more his feeling like a victim. I like that with that Ten of Swords. I really do. Here's the Page of Swords. Look how beautiful that page is. She's really pretty, you know, but very intense, very emotionless. And we have the Knight. The Queen. She is gorgeous. It's like the page growing up into the Queen. She is gorgeous. I don't know if you can see the lighting on her. She's just gorgeous. And I resonate with her. Look at the peacock. Total beauty. Okay? I resonate with her because she is Libra completely. She is just and fair. She about balance and about truth. You know, I love that. I look. The Queen of Swords is another card that I look at in a deck to see if I want it or not. Then we have the King of Swords. Okay, Cups. Ace of Cups. And the fish, I feel like, as soon as I saw the fish was, plenty fish in the sea, which one are you going to choose? It's like attracting the right fish. You know, that's what, I know I keep doing this, but certain cards that attract me, you know, I got to see what they're about, you know. Like the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is a symbol of deeply experienced feelings and emotions, emotional awareness, especially love, affection, and compassion. The underwater scenery shown here is repeated throughout the Cups court cards. You know, it's a sea of emotions. That's what this is supposed to be, a sea of emotions. Okay? We have the Two of Cups. This reminds me of a marriage, of a deep commitment. Two hands coming together. That's what that reminds me of. Three of Cups. Joyous and celebrating. Four of Cups. This Four of Cups, I get a lot of messages from it. I get messages of somebody not satisfied with what they have and dreaming about something else. That's the main message I get here. They're looking at another offer. This is not rejecting an offer. This is looking at something else. Not being happy with what they have and looking at something else. The Five of Cups. She's sitting there, and there's the Five of Cups. There's three cups spilled over, and there's two cups right beside her. She's holding her heart. She's reflecting, you know, definitely disappointed and grief. And she's holding one of the cup and dumping it out. That's significant there. Six of Cups, this gives you that innocent feeling, the childlike thing. I love this card with her on the swing. Other people have said the same thing. It just gives this feeling of joy and freedom. And with the teddy bears and this, very reminiscent of the 60s and 70s, you know, even 80s, reminiscent of the childhood The child within. That's what this reminds me of. Yes, it still has its traditional meanings of somebody from the past, but this is nostalgia, pure and simple. And remember having those fond memories. And bringing out the child in you as well. Okay. 7 of Cups. My dog wants to No! My dog wants to bother me now. Here's the 8 of Cups. You know, this is... The sense of this card is... Usually you have the 8 of Cups in an outdoor scene. Okay? This is leaving a home. This is definitely somebody leaving. Okay? Leaving a building, leaving the emotional garbage and what's not fulfilling anymore. It's like there's nothing left. So this is a bend and going off into the sunset. I like this 8 of Cups. It's not one of my cards I look at typically, but in this deck, that has caught my attention. This is the 9 of Cups. This is supposed to be the wish card. I get also the potential of overindulgence with this card. He's drinking from the cups, enjoying himself. Other messages could be a pompous person, somebody with an... Typically, the 8 of Cups I've never looked as an ego card. This one, depending on the surrounding cards, can be an ego card. Look at the smile on his face. It could be ego. He's got his cups, you know. At the same time, though, he's got everything he wants. So it is wish fulfillment. It is manifestation. But I see the darker side of this card is being vain. Being, you know, very egotistical. I'm better than everybody else. I've got it all. You know. So it depends on the surrounding cards. But I can see the shadow side of that card. It's most 8 of Cups. It's hard to see the shadow side. It's obvious in there. Sorry about that. I like this 10 of Cups as well. You don't have, you know, most cards, they have the rainbow and an outdoor scene for the 10 of Cups. This I like. This is the comforts of home. You got the kitty cat there. Man, husband and wife or couple or whatever. They're snuggled up in front of a cozy fire. The comforts of home. Having the blissful, having that unconditional love. I like this 10 of Cups. There's the Page of Cups. Knight of Cups. Queen of Cups. Man, is she beautiful. The queens in this deck are just gorgeous. She reminds me of the psychic that you would go to. Look at her, how she has her makeup on. That is the psychic advisor, spiritual advisor that you would go to for, you know, that's what she reminds me of. Then we have the 10 of Cups. Now we're into the Wands. See, we're half an hour into this already. Ace of Wands. I love the dragon on here. I really do. 2 of Wands. There's the 3 of Wands. I like this. Again, you got the wand coming out onto the border. And he's looking at that ship. He's been waiting and waiting, and it's coming in. 4 of Wands. 5 of Wands. That says conflict right there. Right? 6 of Wands. The recognition. He's not on a horse this time. But it's like, All these staffs, you know, people raising their staffs not at him, but for him. He's got the staff of victory and very abundant. There's the wheat. You know, he's standing up tall. I like this Six of Wands. Unique. We have the Seven of Wands. He's battling it out. He's winning. Eight of Wands. This gives more action. You know how they say, oh, the wands are flying towards you. But usually you see the wands going this way, or up in the air. That's typically what you see in most Eight of Wands in most decks. This one, their wands are coming right at you. And look at that energy. And it's very forceful, very fast. I like the very nice portrayal of the Eight of Wands. Then we have the Nine of Wands. Yeah, this is somebody who's tired. He's put down his shields right there in case he needs to pick it up. He's resting, but at the same time, he's got his wands here. He's got his wands behind him to protect him. Ten of Wands. Excellent portrayal of the Ten of Wands. This is somebody who's really burdened down, who's weighed down to the point where he can't get up. The only way he's going to be able to get up is by shedding or dropping some of those wands. This is definitely a screaming struggle. Page of Wands. Knight. Queen. If she doesn't say other woman, I don't know what does. Yes, she's a fire sign. There's a lot of other meanings, but the first thing that came to mind was the other woman. Look at that sly. She reminds me of the sly fox. You know, the Queen of Wands is a fox. She's clever. Okay? She could be clever in a good way or a bad way. You know, just saying. King of Wands. He's passionate. He's gorgeous. He's freaking hot. You know, that's what the King of Wands is supposed to portray. Other kings are older and wiser. This king is not so much as old and wise, but he's just freaking hot, full of passion. Let me jump your buns, baby, type of, you know, you get the drift. It's going to be interesting reading with this deck. Then we got the Ace of Pentacles. And you know, you've got the stag there. The growth, the potential. Two of Coins. Man, that's really somebody trying to maintain balance, right? That tightrope is not just straight across like in other decks sometimes. Sometimes, you know, like the Rider-Waite, but he's really trying to maintain his balance. It's like, oh, teeter-tottering. Here's the Three of Coins. He's the master. This screams mastery to me. He's putting a lot of hard work in. There's the plans on the table, the blueprint, you know. Where's everybody else? It's supposed to be, there's no I in team. But this is putting in a lot of hard work. This is the Four of Coins. The Five. See, somebody's hand's held out and the coins are behind them. This is excellent symbolism of a loss. Okay, you don't have the people portrayed. All that's portrayed as far as people is the hand, and you got these coins. There's coins on the window. There's a church window. There's help there, and this is some symbolism. Somebody reaching out, wanting to help you. That's the hand reaching out. Wow. We've got the scales again in the 6 of coins. There's a 7 of coins. This one, like other decks, seem so tired. They seem so, you know, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. Come on now. In here, Sharo portrayed she has a smile on her face. So it's like her patience paying off. She's collecting her goods. Her fruit's coming in. You know, she planted the seeds and she's been so patient, and now it's harvest time. That's what I get from this card. It's harvest time. After a long wait, it's harvest time. 8 of coins. This is somebody studying. They are learning their craft. And this is what it was supposed to be from the original 8 of coins. And somebody's looking at the plans or trying to build something. They're learning in the process. I like this one. 9 of coins. 10 of coins. This is the family funds. This is on the family savings. You see he's putting the coin into like a bank, a container. You know, this is legacy. This is savings. This is building the family funds. This is, you know, that's, I think that I'm not going to get back into the book because that's added so much time to the video, me reading. But this is reminding me of saving. We have the page of coins. We look at the fawn there. It's not a stag yet. That's the student. Here's the knight. The bear. The bear is a symbol of protection. Just saying. And the bear is there bringing in to the family, bringing in the food, collecting the food. This is another card that I look at in every deck. My Queen of Pentacles, or Queen of Coins. She's smart and clever with her money. There's a fox, there's a rabbit, okay? She's growing this coin. She's like the Empress. You know, things growing out of her all over the place. She's Mother Nature, okay? You know, she's the mother. She is the mother of the minor arcana. And then we have our King of Pentacles. You've got the stag there. You've got a wolf. So that's what I have for this deck. I can't wait to start using it. And in the next few videos, you're going to see this deck. I thank you for tuning in. Sorry it was so long. I had to read about some of the cards. But I thank you, and I will see you next time. I'll see you in the air signs video.